Carstensz Pyramid is the highest point on the island of New Guinea at almost 5,000 metres and is located in the Papua province of Indonesia. The remoteness and political situation mean that the logistics to reach the mountain are complex. A 6-day trek over 60 kilometres through several temperate climates is required. Beginning in the jungle with plenty of mud and humidity, it rained every day. Then up onto moorland and eventually high alpine terrain to base camp. Base camp is comfortable and seemingly idyllic. However, it has been alleged that the lakes are polluted from previous mining explorations. After trekking for 6 days through wilderness, you may be surprised to find the world's largest gold mine in the campsite next door. The Freeport or Grasberg mine employs 20,000 people and is linked to the coast by a 100-kilometre private road. It's also the second largest copper mine in the world. The scope for new routes on Carstensz is immense. The north face has over 1 kilometre of unclimbed rock. Our expedition followed the normal route on the north face. Well, it's 1:30 in the morning and we're just taking breakfast before heading off on our summit bid. There is the mine. After about an hour of walking, we've reached the bottom of the fixed ropes. Climbing in the dark, the ropes were invaluable for route finding as we followed the illuminated circles of our head torches into the darkness. The normal route follows a series of ramps up onto the summit ridge. There's going to be some discontinuity in the footage from now on, with the climbing shot over 3 different phases. Firstly on the ascent, then the descent, and then finally on the second summit day, which is a perfect day. This is the base of the route, with an obvious track in daylight. There's about 5 sections of fixed rope to get you up onto the ridge. The first 3 are almost in kind of canyon-like sections going up where water has carved out a groove in the rock. So you're climbing up there, very easy, kind of a slab on the left and then a wall on the right, so you're able to sort of bridge yourself up. It was only maybe a grade 1 and 2 scramble. Fixed ropes in there, but they weren't really required. I think one thing that surprised me the most was the amount of loose rock, especially on the first section of fixed ropes. There was maybe a couple of ledges where you had to walk 5-10 metres, all on a bit of a scree slope, so the first few people knocked a whole heap of rocks down. Down below near the bottom of the group, it's not much fun dodging bullets coming past. Got one whack on the hand. So bring a helmet and put your best and most agile climbers first, who aren't going to be knocking rocks down onto the rest of the party. We attached to the fixed ropes throughout the climb, not knowing the difficulties ahead. However, having reclimbed in daylight, the climb is a thoroughly enjoyable scramble, and the rope's not necessary for the most part. The 4th section of fixed rope opens out onto a face above a big sloping scree ledge. The rock's actually quite high quality. It's a type of limestone. Even when it's slimy, it's actually got very good grip. It's very grippy. So you've got a lot of confidence as you're climbing up on it, even with a layer of water and slime over the top. Lots of water runnels carved into the rock. The fixed rope anchors were mainly pitons and threaded natural features, typically synchronised well across 2 pieces. There was also the occasional bolt and even a tricam for variety. We climbed in trekking shoes without crampons, not expecting to find much snow. Most of the snow had actually melted away by the next morning for the second summit team to make their attempt. It's okay, I showed Liam the rope once he'd got up to me. And the 5th section is a final, fairly vertical section to get you up onto the summit ridge. And that climb to get you up onto the summit ridge was probably the most technical of the whole section, maybe a grade 3 scramble. But the rock's very broken, so there's just handholds and footholds everywhere all over the place. The grain of the rock is a bit more vertical, so a bit of lay backing or pulling out on the different grooves to get the friction to climb up. But it was all very easy and a whole heap of fun climbing. I think my most favourite section of the climb was getting up onto the summit ridge. I was in the lead at that point, so I was powering on ahead, enjoying the climbing, and then you pull up onto the summit ridge and then all of a sudden you've got views in maybe 270 degrees all around. The cloud and mist hadn't really formed at that point, so you had perfect views, had the interesting view of the mine, and then wandered along the summit ridge to the Tyrolean traverse. That was a fantastic experience, the highlight of the climb for me, just walking above all of the clouds and all of the other mountains and land all around. The most difficult section, and I guess the most interesting section, was the Tyrolean traverse. Added quite a fun and exciting aspect to the climb, other than the actual rock climbing itself. We were maybe there for about an hour. It took a while to sort of set up. There's a whole heap of different ropes there, but we attached to 3 of them and also put a safety on as well, pulled ourselves across. And the Tyrolean traverse is maybe only 10 metres, it's not very far, but you can certainly see a long way down. And I don't think many of the team members had done that before. Certainly that was a new experience for me. Quite a bit of fun. It takes a bit of commitment, I suppose, to set yourself off away there, but because you're upside down you can't actually see the height of the drop beneath you, which maybe that's a good thing.
The summit ridge is tremendous fun, in a fantastic position of exposure with great feeling and atmosphere. The route weaves around a few rock towers and crosses a couple of unnerving notches in the ridgeline. The climbing felt a little tenuous at times with the snow cover, and progress was a little slow given the group of 9. The summit ridge lasted much longer than I expected, and there always seemed to be another high point visible after bypassing each tower. It took almost an hour from the Tyrolean traverse to reach the summit, about 6 hours from base camp, arriving just after 8 o'clock, but the mist had settled with the sun burning off the new snowfall. The whole team reached the summit together, so we managed to capture a full team photo on the summit and shared many high fives, handshakes and hugs, encapsulating the lovely team spirit that had been fostered during the approach trek. Given all of the uncertainties and logistical chaos of the past week, it was a relief to remove ourselves from that situation and enjoy for a few moments the achievement of our objective. Carstensz is the highest point in Southeast Asia and a great summit. But we must always remember the mighty Mount Kosciuszko in Australia, the true 7th continental summit. After an hour on the summit, it was time to return to the chaotic world below.
It's great to have come here and got to the top. The experience has been so much more rewarding than I expected. Sharing each day with the local Dani tribe on their traditional land has been a fantastic experience. The French climber Lionel Terray once said of mountaineers, "We're all just conquistadors of the useless." Well, that was Carstensz Pyramid. It's now time to pack away at base camp, trek back through the jungle for 4 days, 2 days of flights back to Sydney and normal life. But we're already planning our next adventure and maybe the conquest of the next useless.